All right. All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Holoyim Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barakat Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad. The Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that this lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab. I'm back at you with another lesson. The title of this lesson is going to be called Famine Deluxe Heading Our Way. All right. And I'm going to pull out a couple of little videos and some articles I have posted on Instagram. All right. And, you know, we've been telling you this for the longest already that a famine was going to hit this place. All right. We just drawing closer and closer to that pretty much to that destination. All right. That we, you know, that as the hyperinflation goes up, all right, the more we're going to have, we're going to get closer to this famine. All right. And this is why they're pretty much yanking up prices on food and things like that, because we're not because they're pretty much trying to force you, all right, to not be able to, you know, to be able to pay for these things. You see, you talking about the other day, actually it was yesterday. I had ordered some wings from this actually it wasn't yesterday, it was today. I had ordered some wings, and you talking about $15 for some wings, man. 8 wings. You know, that's like beyond the price. Why? Because where they're getting the wings from, all right, they're being forced to pay a higher price. All right. And that's what it goes into hyperinflation with this food. All right. So the more hyperinflation goes up, all right, the more people are not able to afford these things. All right. And pretty much is going to end up putting everybody into a famine. All right. Where it's going to pretty much be so high that you're not going to be able to afford it anymore. And then they're going to pretty much cut off the food supply. This is how they got all these damn ships still out there in the middle of the water out there in California side, man. These ships are still sitting out there, all right, filled with food and things like that, which pretty much that was an agenda, all right, from this damn, you know, from this society to push a certain agenda. All right. So they allow those things to happen. Okay. Plus it's biblical. All right. As a matter of fact, let me share my screen. Let me grab Second Ezra's. Second Ezra's 15. And I think it's 5. Yep, 5. And it says, Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword and famine, you see, death and destruction. So famine is one of those things that we're going to have to go through, all right? And there's no new thing under the sun, all right? These things were happening back in the ancient times, all right? And they're going to happen again, all right? As a matter of fact, now that I said the ancient times, let me bring up 2 Kings. I think it's 20. Is it 21? 2 Kings 21. No, it's not 21. So, oh, you know what? It's in 25, I think. You know what? Let me just get it from here. And there was a great famine in Samaria, KJV. Oh, 6 and 25. All right, that's what it was. I knew there was a 25 in there somewhere. This is 2 Kings 6 and 25. And it says, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung, all right, going into bird shit, all right, for 5 pieces of silver, all right. And this pretty much shows you right here hyperinflation, all right. An ass's head, which is a donkey's head, was sold for 80 pieces of silver, man. Okay. And then it says that there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it. I believe when you go into that word besieged is going into locking it down, taking control of it. Definition of besieged: to surround a place by armed forces, aiming to capture it or force surrender. You see, and that's what's going to end up happening at one point out here, man. We're going to be surrounded by, oh, I was going to sneeze. There you go. Slakia. That's what's going to end up happening out here. All right, we're going to be surrounded by armed forces when we have these military troops, all right, locking down the places. All right, we're not going to be able to, you know, a man shall desire to go into another city, should not be able to. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me grab it from here. 2 Kings 6 and 25. Let me see what they got for besieged here. All right. It says, and they besieged it, and it says to bind, besiege, confine, cramp. All right. Confine, I think of confinement. All right. It says lay siege. All right. To shut in, to shut up. All right. Going into them lockdowns. See, there's no new thing under the sun, man. These things we went through in the past, we're going to go through the same things in these times. All right. Matter of fact, in Egypt, there was what? A famine. All right. Was it in Egypt? Yeah, when you had Joseph, all right, was telling the was telling I believe it was Pharaoh. Let me grab it real quick. I think it's in Joseph. Genesis. Do it this way instead of looking for it. Thou shalt have famine 7 years, KJV. Genesis 41, all right. All right, and it says, behold, there comes 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And it says, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and famine shall consume the land. All right. And if it wasn't for Joseph, all right, being in tune with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, see, Pharaoh would have never knew these things. All right, because the only reason they knew and they were prepared for it is because he was able to interpret the dream for him. You see, so he told them that what it represented was him having 7 years of famine. All right. And they were able to what? They were able to stash the corn and all that, you know. So, you know, just like it tells you in Revelations, let me grab that real quick. Revelations 11 and 8. All right. And it says what? And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. All right. Meaning we are spiritually dead. All right, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. All right, the great city is America, and America is considered as Sodom and Egypt spiritually. So, same thing that was happening in that time, all right, is going to happen in this time, because there's no new thing under the sun. All right. Now, Shalom, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua Barakatah. All right, so going back to, let me knock this out. All right. To besieged it means to surround with armed forces. All right. And then it had over here to show hostility, to be an adversary, treat as foe, to form, fashion, delineate. All right. It says adversary, assault, beset, besiege, bind, cast, distress. All right. Fashion, fortify, enclose, lay siege. All right. So in that time, all right, the land was being pretty much put into lockdown. All right, and there was a famine there. And what they had they had ass's head, a donkey's head that was sold for 4 score pieces of silver. All right, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. All right, things was going up. And then it says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, and that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. So you had such a famine in that time, all right, that cannibalism was a popular thing. All right, which cannibalism, all right, let's go into that word cannibalism. Cannibalism. All right. It says cannibalism is an act of consuming another individual of the same species as food. Cannibalism is a common ecological interaction in the animal kingdom and has been recorded in more than 1,500 species. Human cannibalism is well documented, both in ancient and in recent times, man. So to this day, human cannibalism is an actual thing that is, still happening to this day. All right, you go into images, man. You got all types of different images out here of cannibalism. All right. Look at this. You got a woman sodding the leg. She about to boil up a leg inside the pot. All right. You got pictures like this. See, this is things that were actually happening in those times. And again, there's no new thing under the sun. So the same things that happened in those times are gonna happen in these times, man. And there's no way around it. All right. And this is why we tell people over and over, repent. All right. These are plagues that are going to be sent among our people, man. All right. And you're not going to be able to stop the Lord from sending these plagues. All right. It told you that in Baruch. Let me grab that real quick. I didn't want to get out of here, but in Baruch, what was it, 2 and 3? All right, I'll start at 2, and it says, to bring upon us great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem according to the things that were written in the law of Moses, that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. You see? So we're going to enter into a time that has never been recorded in the history, all right, of life. You're going to, and this is, hey, with all this, everybody getting smacked up with that, that yo jabba jabba, okay? A lot of these people going to turn into straight, going into straight zombies. Why? Because when they crank up these, these towers, people going to bug out. All right. And they're going to do things that they didn't think they were going to be able to do. They're going to have certain mind control over these people, man. All right. And people going to bug out. And then when they cut off all these food supplies, which is going to happen at one point, all right, that's another thing that's going to have these people bugging out, because people's going to be on survival of the fittest out here. People going to be all for themselves. All right. And this is why you need knowledge and wisdom to be your stability of thy times. Because if you have these scriptures within you, all right, what did Yahushua say? All right, those that believeth on me shall never hunger. Those that believeth on me shall never thirst. He said, I am the bread of life. All right, so you having these scriptures, having this truth, man, that's going to fill your belly. That's going to fill up your mind. All right, you're not going to be worrying about food because Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, take no thought, all right, for what ye shall eat and things like that. Because why? He going to take care of us at the end of the day. So these things are going to come to pass, man, where people going to be bugged out of their minds. All right, they're not going to have no source of food, and everybody's going to be pretty much against each other trying to find a piece of food. All right, because iniquity abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, people gonna bug out when they have no food, and that's one of the biggest things that'll have a whole society bug out. All right, having no food, and it is not starvation that kills people; it's the dehydration that kills people. Because if you could have no food and have a whole lot of water with you, you'll survive, man. But once you don't have food, and then you don't have water on top of that, because our body's made out of 80% water, so the water is a necessity. You need the water. But if you ain't got the water, all right, that's just gonna put you into a whole nother. That's gonna put your whole body into a whole nother mode, man. All right. So these things will come to pass. All right, let's get matter of fact, let me get these videos real quick. A couple videos that's bugged, man.
Posted by Twitter users. Everything is fine, nothing to worry about.
See, and these are things. This is real, man, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Going shopping. There's been times where I go to I got around my way. I got ShopRite, I got Stop and Shop, I got Walmart, and I've been to all three of them on different occasions where they don't have nothing to put out, and they're waiting for a certain shipment. You see, back in the day, it was never like that. Food aisles were always filled. The freezer aisle was always filled with its chicken, steak, its beef, whatever. All right. I'll tell you what, as a matter of fact, it's funny because they don't be having no chicken, no steak, no beef, but they make sure they got that pork on deck for you, you see? And they make sure they got that shit cheap for you. All right. 2 steaks right now cost your ass almost $50 on some bugged out. All right. But they make sure that they got that pork on deck for you. They got them 8 pieces of pork for like $5. Make it cheap for you so you can afford it. All right. But you can't afford the rest of the food, but you're going to afford this abominated ass food that we're going to serve you. See, Esau know how to play his role, man. He know how to play his cards. He know exactly what he's doing. All right. Which our people love that shit anyway. Our people love eating pork and shrimps and lobsters. Everything that's totally against the scriptures, all right? Because when you read, what is it, Leviticus, I think it's the 11th chapter, yeah, it goes into the law, your dietary laws, man, all right? It tells you what you could eat and what you can't eat, and swine is not on that menu, all right? Those bottom feeders going into squid and octopus and crabs and lobsters and oysters, all that shit, man. That shit cleans the water. All right, you're not supposed to eat that, but they make sure that they put that on a menu for you. You see, so you going against the word of the Heavenly Father, man. All right, he's selling pretty much all types of bugged out food, and it's funny because see, these elites don't eat that food. These elites don't eat nothing like that. They know they have the best of the best. See, they feed us the scraps. They feed us the cheap and abominated foods, man. They take our foods, all right? Because when you kill an animal, you're supposed to kill it in a certain way, man, in peace, all right? You're not supposed to massacre them like they do in these damn slaughterhouses, have them all in distress, You know, when you go buy a pack of wings, man, you got wings with blood, bruised up wings, blood in the veins still. You know, they don't eat like that. They eat the best of the best, man. Why? Because they're the elites. And if not, and they definitely don't be eating that pork, and they definitely don't be eating the bottom feeders. They gonna eat good food, you see, but they make sure that we eat the shittiest shit, the shittiest you can find out there, man. All right. Now let me go back into some more. All right, I got a couple little posts. I think this is one right here. Yeah, it says the Wall Street Journal. And did it not came out too, man, I didn't even realize that. It came out too big. It says hunger in America could get worse as supply chains tighten.
They're in cold cash.
What?
Plus, fresh frozen lobster. If you add all this up, it's 11 grand.
Never negotiate with strangers again.
Room offer 12,000.
Commercial.
Sell your car on vroom.com.
And this is January 21.
It's a disconcerting deja vu. Empty shelves at grocery stores, like the early days of the pandemic.
You see, it's ridiculous.
Canette Washington went to 3 DC stores to find food for her kids.
It's getting a little hard, but I just have to do what I gotta do.
The cause? A perfect storm. The entire food supply chain, farms, warehouses, trucking, grocery stores, were already facing a worker shortage. Now, Omicron is intensifying it.
If they're seeing empty shelves when they go to a supermarket, that's why labor shortage.
At Stu Leonard's in the Northeast, 8% of workers were isolating last week. Some other stores have less than half their staff.
It's a challenge.
And with people stuck at home and inflation at its highest point in 40 years, families are cooking more meals and demand for groceries is spiking. Now, throw in winter weather. This blast in the Northeast shut down I-95 in Virginia, a critical trucking route, for more than a day, leaving stores across the region with little inventory.
I turned around. There is nothing for me to buy.
Already took time out of my day, to go to the store and stuff. So definitely a little frustrating.
The Northwest and Midwest saw similar issues amid extreme weather. While shelves are mostly stocked again, winter is just underway, and Omicron is still spreading, with the supply chain stretched thin.
I expect in the coming weeks we'll continue to face supply challenges. Those challenges will be sporadic and they will impact different areas at different times.
At Dawson's Market in D.C., owner Bart Yablonsky got word from his distributor that they can only deliver 70% of his orders in the coming weeks.
It's not that the product is not in the warehouse, it's because they don't have enough people to pick the product. That also creates a situation where we have to pivot again and try to find alternative suppliers for some of the key items.
Are you concerned that there could be shortages on the shelves here?
Absolutely. So I'm definitely concerned that there's going to be shortages.
Experts say there should be enough food at stores, but in some cases there will be fewer options. The National Grocers Association is now asking the Biden administration to prioritize tests for grocery workers across the supply chain and limit mandates to help keep their workforce intact.
We know that there are workers who will leave as opposed to getting vaccinated or even having to deal with testing on a weekly basis.
Starting February 1st, unvaccinated workers at Stu Leonard's will no longer be paid if they have to quarantine.
I think that's fair.
Many owners have already raised wages to keep staff. With operation costs rising, families should expect more price hikes at the market in the months ahead.
It's going to be very concerning.
Canette Washington, like so many, is struggling to eat those costs as a grocery store cashier.
Bring up the pay rate. That's all I ask. Bring up the pay rate.
You see? Man, it's getting real out there, man. All right, whether people want to believe it or not, these things are happening right before your eyes, man. All right? You got another one over here. Man, I can't believe that one didn't come out. That was a crucial one.
What will you design today? A big idea? A new opportunity? An inspired community? With Canva, you can. Start designing for free. Canva.com.
All right, y'all read it. It says grocery stores still have empty shelves amid supply chain disruptions, blah, blah, and winter storms. You see? And then it says on the bottom, it says right now the unavailability rate is hovering around 15%. According to the Consumer Brands Association president and CEO, Geoff Freeman, all right? And it says the new year hasn't stopped ongoing food shortages. All right.
You're seeing it in general across the store. There is less supply. I don't know that it's category specific because I can tell you everyone we meet with, from pet food to detergent to cereal, they're all confronting the same challenges.
See, everybody going through these things, man. This says this is how they create a food shortage. All right, January 13, 2022.
Employees because of the vaccine and the fuck.
Oh, man, these damn.
So here's another thing of our government and the fucking virus. So Maple Lodge just closed down because of this. No employees because of the vaccine and the fucking injections or whatever. You know what I mean. So I'm at a chicken farm there in southern Ontario, and I got 52,000 chickens to load. Well, not me load, but to haul. Because all of them had to be fucking killed. All because of the bullshit with the virus. Thanks, Doug Ford and Justin Trudeau. Look at all that fucking wasted meat. Fuck. What a shame.
See, which they're pretty much, hey, man, they're pretty much telling these people to, you know, waste this food. You got Bill, all right, Bill Gates, that's out there buying farms off, man, just so he could bring in certain types of foods, you know, synthetic meats and things like that, you know, more GMOs and all that. You got them pretty much paying top dollar to these farming systems, man, to you know, pretty much destroy their crops and things like that, man. Hey, man, this is all part of the agenda that's being pushed out there, all right? Putting people in a predicament. This is how they're going to be able to grab you and put you in a predicament, all right, to basically, you already know, get that MOTB at one point. You see, this is ways of them literally putting you in predicaments to have you, you know, in fear. You know, because a lot of people just going to think, how am I going to eat? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And they're going to have the solution for you, all right? They always have the solution for you. They put you in these predicaments just to give you a solution, all right? And people fall for it every time. And again, this is why you need Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, to get you out of these things, okay? Let me go back. Let me get, I think I saw it somewhere else.
Of ham are so pink. Watch this video and I can guarantee you're never going to want to eat that shit.
Hey, well, this is gonna be another reason why. You see, they doing things right now. They contaminated the water. Right now, they're contaminating the food, your meats, right? Things are being injected into it. So to the point where you're not gonna be able to eat, man. You're not gonna be able to have water. Again, putting you in predicaments. All right.
Again. And it is not because pigs are pink.
The ham on your supermarket shelves starts out like this. Big lumps of pork meat. To add taste, a little vegetable stock goes in.
Which, again, like I said earlier, you shouldn't be eating none of that shit anyway because it's abominated food, man. All right, that's not meant to be on our menu.
To a ham-shaped mold, and it's cooked. And the result? Perfectly pink, rounded slices. Have you grasped the basics? Well, let's rewind a little to see the detail that changes everything. To obtain this fine ham, there's another very important step. You have to inject the meat. A machine with a dozen syringes injects a liquid into the lumps of pork meat. The liquid contains an essential additive. Factory manager Laurent Rouleau shows us. These yellow sacks contain a mixture of salt and sodium nitrite.
I mean, it's not like sodium nitrate's poisonous or anything.
The big problem is that sodium nitrite is believed to be a danger to public health.
And trust me, they're not just doing it to pork. They're doing it to everything, man.
The additive is suspected of playing a role in the development of colorectal cancer, one of the deadliest cancers in Europe. The cause? A phenomenon that takes place during digestion.
This is the chemical warfare that humanity is facing, and it comes in many forms. In the food that we eat, whether it be GMOs or additives, fragrances that we use, chemicals in our household, and even our clothes. It is no conspiracy. There is a targeted attack on the human body. It is more important than ever that we combat these toxic chemicals with things like superfoods and supplements that are going to help restore the body to its peak vitality. That's why I take Chock's hot water purified shilajit, which is clinically studied to help support healthy hormones, brain memory, and also contains 40 trace minerals.
Man, which I wouldn't trust any of that anyway, man. You can't trust this damn devil for nothing. All right? We are not ignorant to Satan's devices. We ain't ignorant to Satan's ways. All right?
Read the caption below for exclusive discounts on all their supplements, both male and female. Despite all odds, because of the supply chain disruption around the world, Chock have just received a pallet of products at their warehouse. Because of this, Chock have activated an urgent limited sale with deep discounts. Now, these will sell fast. So read the caption below, check out all the clinical studies, and you don't want to miss out. Have you ever wondered?
All right. And I think I got one more here somewhere with food. Slovakia. Actually, I think I never posted it up. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I never posted it up. Yeah, I think this was the one, but I don't know what happened. It came out as a picture. It didn't come out as the video. All right, but yeah, man, y'all get the point, man. Listen, we in those times, all right? It says Truckers Freedom Convoy. What's this one? Yeah, there's another one. You see, you got these truckers, man, that they're pretty much, you know, not making moves, man. A lot of them are just, you know, I guess they're standing on strike and things like that. All right, which all these things carry foods, man. They carry certain products, and we're not able to get them. Why? Because of what's going on with these mandates and things like that. All right.
We are
This is not about saving lives. This is about control. They are this.
Yeah, because that's what they're doing at the end of the day. They're taking control of all these things. All right. Remember that, like it tells you in Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So when the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, he is able to control everything in society, man. And he's controlling these things left to right. All right. Especially now in these days that he's what? All right, pushing a certain agenda. So he's gonna control it like never before. See, we didn't have to go through these things before, but now we're going through them more than ever. All right. Because see, this devil has nothing but a short time. All right, his time is short on the earth, so he has to make these moves quickly. Okay.
Destroying lives. How long have you been teaching?
22 years.
For 20 years and 22 years, they were fine, they were okay. Suddenly now, the government, they want to be tyrants. They're telling them they cannot work anymore. Excuse me, why? So they were the heroes. Now they're zeros because some corrupted politician says so? Are you kidding me? You see,
So yeah, I get the point, man. These truckers, they pretty much standing on strike because they don't want to go, they don't want to, comply with these mandates, man. And they carry a lot of sources of foods and things like that. All right. So it's not gonna be able to actually go by, man. All right. Let's go into these scriptures. Get this out of the way. All right. Let's go back to for second Ezra 15 and 5, and it says, "Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." All right. So famine is one of those plagues that are going to be sent upon the earth. All right. Let me grab Slakia. This is 19, and it says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." You see? So because of the lack of food sources, man, people going to be running up in people's homes, man, spoiling their goods, all right? Taking you hostage, all right? Taking everything that's in your house, all right? And it's crazy because what did Yahushua say? He said, "I am the bread of life." So when I hear because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, all right, you got to in a spiritual sense, all right, the lack of bread is going to be the lack of you having Yahushua, man. You see? So if you don't have Yahushua in these days, all right, these are the things that's going to happen to you, man. People going to be running up in your home. All right, a man's not going to have pity upon his neighbor. The love of many is going to wax cold. All right, it's going to be survival of the fittest out here. All right. I'm going to give me 1 second. It's at 16. Yeah, it might be at 16. I'll read this one since I'm right here. This is 49, second Ezra 15 and 49. It says, "I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine." You see famine being mentioned again. "Sword and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death." All right. What else do I want? This is 57, second Ezra 15 and 57. "Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field." It says, "They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water." You see, these are the plagues that are coming upon us, man. And you're gonna have people eating their own flesh. All right. Matter of fact, that's in and they shall snatch on the right hand, KJV. This is Isaiah 9 and 20. All right. Isaiah 9 and 19, it says, though through the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. You see, ain't nobody gonna spare anybody in that day, man. Again, survival of the fittest. All right, you gonna be, man, this is gonna be every man for themselves out there. All right, and it says, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry. All right, let's get that real quick. All right, Isaiah 9 and 20. That word snatch means to cut. And he shall snatch, gazar. It says to cut, divide, cut down, cut off, cut in two. You see? So you're going to have people literally cutting off their right hand, all right, any body part. You know, it ain't just going to be specifically your right hand, but it says, and he shall snatch, he shall cut off the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and he shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Oh, man, that sounds crazy right there. All right, it's gonna be on some Saw shit. You see, just like the movie Saw when he just grabbed his leg and he had to saw it out because he wanted to get out the chains. Well, you're gonna see people bug out like that, man. Pretty much eat themselves up until they pretty much a walking torso. You see, he ain't got no arms left, no legs left because they done ate themselves. Now they're not able to cut themselves no more. You're gonna be, man, bugged out, man. Bugged. Just think about that, man. All right. So it says, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. You see, that's why it tells you in Lamentations, man, it is better to, let me grab that. Lamentations 4 and 9. All right. What did it say? It said, it is better. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. See, so in that day, man, it's going to be better that you get taken out by these damn martial law troops, man, than for you to die in hunger. See, because when you die in hunger, man, that's a crazy way to die. All right, your body is going to eat itself from the inside out. All right, your stomach is going to eat its stomach. You see? And then it says, the hands of the pitiful women. All right, because, man, a lot of judgment is going to come to you women. So a lot of you women going to deal with some crazy scenarios, man. Crazy predicaments you're going to be put in, man. You're going to have to take your own children and make and pretty much sacrifice them. That's how these people going to be. You see, talking about, oh, I don't need a man. I don't need the Lord. I could do it all on my own. Well, you see, this is what the things is going to happen to you. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. When you go into that word sodden, that means to boil. All right. So you're going to be boiling your own children. See, your own children going to look like a piece of chicken to make chicken soup with. Right, you're going to throw a little sazon, a little adobo on that. All right, little pepper, little salt, chop up some. You ain't even gonna be able to get onions and things like that. You see, you're gonna be doing these things, man, bugged out things. It says they were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. Okay, so these are things that we're gonna have to go through, man. And if you don't have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you are gonna be a victim of these things, man. All right, let me go back to Second Ezra's, going to 16. Actually, let me go back to 15. I think there might have been one more at the bottom. No, that was the one. All right, this is 16. Going into you know what, before I forget, let me go into Second Ezra's. I think it's 6. Yeah, I think it's 6. Yep. 6 and 22. And it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. You see, going into that famine, these stores that were once filled up with food, man, they're no longer gonna have any of these things in their storehouses, man. Okay, you're gonna lose out on all that. Because why? It was all part of the famine. All right, there's gonna be lack of workers, things like that. Businesses are gonna shut down. All right, going into Ecclesiastes 12:3. All right, and it says, and in that day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. Yeah, when you go into that word grinders, it goes into employment. All right, employment is going to cease because there are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. You see, these places are going to be shut down. These businesses are going to be shut down. All right. Grinding, all right, work is not going to be found, man. Working is going to be, if you find a job, man, that's going to be like finding diamonds in the street, you see. And it says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, which these daughters of music is being brought low. The music is horrible in these times. All right, it ain't gonna be no more singing and going to work, whistle while you work. All right. So these things are gonna be, the lack of work and employment, man. Businesses are gonna shut down, and then these storehouses that were once filled with food and things like that, they're gonna be unsown, man. You ain't gonna find nothing in these places. All right, now let me go back to 2nd Ezra's 16 and 17, and it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? It says, the beginning of sorrows and the great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, and what shall I do when these evils shall come? You see, and all these things that are happening right now are just the beginning of sorrows, man. These ain't even scratches of the surface. All right, the Lord is about to bring heavy judgment upon this place, man. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Shah, is going to teach you to fear him, man. You was thinking that this was a joke. You was thinking that we was bugged out when we was bringing out these things on these highways and hedges, bringing out video after video. You thinking that we was just bullshit. We thinking that we was just conspiracy theorists, man. Well, now all these things are coming into life. All right, so what are you to say now that these things are happening? All right, we're not looking so crazy now. The one that looking crazy is the ones that ain't prepared, the ones that didn't prepare themselves, the ones that didn't hearken on to the word. Those are the ones that are looking bugged out of their minds now. The ones that went and took on Egypt, all right, and made them the what does it say? Warn to them that go to Egypt for help, down to Egypt for help. See, you wanted to make them your help. You wanted to depend on them. You wanted to trust in oppression. You wanted to trust in this damn devil and his wicked ass, man. And what did he do? He surprised you with the opposite of what you thought you was going to get, what you thought you was going to receive, man. help. You ain't going to receive none of that, man. He's going to lead you. That's why it says my people are led as a flock to the slaughter. You see, our people is being led as a flock to the slaughter. All right. And if you don't want to be part of that slaughter, you got to have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah on your side. All right. So it says 19, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right, let's go into that word scourges. What does it mean? Definition of scourges. All right, a whip used as an instrument of punishment. These are punishments that are sent to our people. A person or a thing that causes great trouble or suffering. You see, this is why we tell you, all right, in Jeremiah 30:7, all right, it says, for alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. See, this is all part of Jacob's trouble, man. And when you go into that word trouble, all right, what does it say? It says straits, distress, trouble. All right. It says affliction, anguish, tribulation, distress. See, this is the times that we're entering in, man. Times that you're not going to be able to bear unless you have a higher power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, to guide you through those times, man. To have the spirit on you to endure these things, man. All right. So it says 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be away mindful of the scourges. And see, our people, with all these things that's going on in the world right now, these people are not taking notes, man. These people are not taking it into consideration. They just continually keep being wicked. All right. Why? Because it ain't happening to them specifically. It ain't happened to them individually yet. All right. But these are the signs that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is leaving for you, letting you know what times we in, man. That's why it tells you to measure thy time diligently in itself. All right. You have to know what times we in, man. And this is not the time of mirth. This is the time of mourning. Okay. Let's go into, I'll just keep reading as a matter of fact. And it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even so, even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. You see, and this is why, and you got people just having a good old time, having them, you know, I'm living my best life. You got people on that mode right there. You see, because victuals are so good cheap, you know, vacations, you know, things like that. People are having the time of their lives, man. You see, like that stupid ass commercial. I've had the time of my life. That's what these people on, man. But as you having the time of your life, evils are growing upon the earth. Famine is setting in. Great confusion is being brought upon you, man, everywhere. All right, the sword is setting himself up for destruction. Okay? World War III is popping off right before your eyes. All right, the collapse of the dollar is about to happen. The MOTB is about to be ushered in. But you want to go out there and continue to live life like it's all good. All right? And these people are going to be caught by surprise. Then you're going to see, because again, our people are stiff-necked people where they don't make a move until the shit is in their hood. And they don't make a move till the things are happening right in front of them or happening to them. But by the time you try to go make that move, it's going to be too late. You see? Then it says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. You see? You know how many people are going to die of famine alone? And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Yeah, these martial law troops is gonna get you, man. All right. Esau's gonna get you. Esau's power structure is gonna get you, man. One way or another, you are not gonna escape the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. If you are meant to be put down, you will be put down. All right, and if you, and there's gonna be some people that gonna make it through all this and gonna catch a missile at the end of the day. You see, that's scary for you to make it through all these things right here and then still catch a missile at the end of the day. That, it's gonna be a lot of them proud people, man. All right, so it says, let's see what else we got. I think there's one more somewhere here. Matter of fact, let me read that. I think it's coming up. Yep. 37. And it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. See? These plagues, they gonna come right on time, man. They not gonna be slack. A lot of people thinking that, the Lord ain't coming back, that this ain't gonna happen in our time. That's why a lot of people bugged out right now, because you never thought that these things were gonna happen in your time. You see, especially you older heads, man. Oh, that ain't gonna happen in our time. It's gonna happen years from now, man. You tell them something like, oh, but we in World War III, man. It's about to go down. We've always been in war. That's the stupid things they say. We always been in war. We've been in war for hundreds and hundreds of years. No, not like this. Okay? Oh, they'd be like, oh, well, a lot of people, going by this pestilence. Oh, well, we've always been in these things. Go look it up. Go look up the the times of these different sicknesses that came out and things like that. Yeah, but not like this. All right, not where they got you walking around with a diaper on your face believing the shit that they telling you, man. Okay, we in times that you ain't never ever seen, and they're gonna get worse and worse by the minute as we draw closer and closer to that time of this society ending. All right, of this era being brought down to naught. All right, things are gonna get weirder. They're gonna get worse. Okay, it's gonna get ugly out here, man. So it says the plagues draw nigh, and just like it tells you, what is that in Psalms 55 and 11, I believe it is. All right, it tells you that this word shall not come back unto the Lord void, man. These things are gonna happen right before your eyes. All right. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bring forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. All right. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So all these things that are happening, man, are just, listen, man, this earth right now is in contractions. All right, everything is literally having contractions to what? To this place is just ready to pop, ready to go. And once it pops, it's gonna go all at once. You see, all these things are gonna come back to back to back to back, and you're not gonna be able to escape the judgment of the Lord, man. Salaki. So let me go into, there's one more down here somewhere. This is, and it says, the virgins shall mourn. This is 16 and 33, second Ezra. And the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall have shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. See, these are things that's gonna happen, man. You women ain't gonna have no men out there to save you, all right? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that can save you is a man of the Lord, all right? A lot of these men are gonna be taken in they're gonna be brought to the war, man. They're gonna die in the war and warfare, all right? Your daughters are gonna be helpless, man. They ain't gonna have nobody to help them. And it says, in the war shall the bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Man, there's a whole bunch of scriptures I just read about a whole bunch of famine bringing death upon these people. All right. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Yeah, you guys want to believe in these other gods. You want to call upon these other gods. All right, those are going to be the gods you're going to have to call upon in the time of your tribulation, man. See if they help you. All right, you guys want to go down to Egypt for help, trust in oppression. All right, you wanted to believe in your money. You wanted to believe in your job. All right, these are things that are all compared to as gods. All right, it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Oh, which I already brought that part out. All right, did I go up? Yeah, I went up too much. All right, but hey, that's the spirit. The plagues ain't slack. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. 46. And it says, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. You see? Going into famine again. Going into spoiling your goods. All right? Overthrowing your homes. Taking your children. These are things that we going to have to go through, man. Slovakia. What's we got in here? Slovakia. Bear with me. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. All right. Matter of fact, I'll read this one. All right. And it says 70, for there shall be in every place in the city, next cities, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right, let's go into that word, insurrection. Definition of insurrection. All right, what does it say? A violent uprising against an authority or government. All right. You're starting to see that now. You see, just like when I just showed you the video of the truckers. All right. It didn't get violent, but you see how they're starting to go against that authority. All right. They're starting to what? They're starting to be on strike. They're starting to rise up against these people, man, because they ain't down what was going down. All right. And it says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none. Yeah. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. All right. Which at the end of the day, these martial law troops that's going to be like madmen, sparing none, man, they really after those that fear the Lord, man. See, because they know 2/3 going to die. They know 2/3 got to go. See, but they want to know who's the elect. Who are the ones that fear the Lord? Those are the ones they really want. And then it says, for they shall waste and take their goods and cast them out of their houses, man. And this is things that we're going to have to go through, man. This is why we're going to be like pilgrims upon the earth. Some of us just going to have to haul ass. You know, we're going to be hiding out in the woods. We're going to be wherever the Lord takes us, man. Some of us are going to be casted into prison. We're going to have to endure those things, man. But some of us are going to have to be like pilgrims upon the earth. All right. And we just going to have to, you know, trust in the Lord that he got us. All right. Put our faith in him and that we be delivered, Lord willing. You know, that he had mercy upon us, man, that we don't have to die out there in the field, man, of famine and things like that. So again, man, these people think that these things ain't gonna happen, but the signs are right before your eyes. You know? And if you don't want to believe it, well, then you're just gonna be left out there with it. All right, that means you never believed in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because you got a lot of people that'll talk that they believe this truth, but they ain't really making moves, man. They not really, you know, taking into consideration the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Man, he gave you the script ahead of time. You see, to prepare yourself, to hearken on to the word, man. So you don't have to go through these things, so you can actually be protected from these things. But see, a lot of y'all gonna learn the hard way, man. And this is gonna be one way you're gonna learn. This is gonna be a major plague right here that's gonna be brought upon our wicked people, man. All right. So, you know, that's pretty much the point. All right. Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakat Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.